Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are looking at items that were my favorites 3 years ago, testing them all out on my face to make this look and seeing if they're still favorites or if it's kind of like a, I hate it. It's okay, but it's not a favorite anymore, or some of them are just straight out absolutely still my favorite and I love them years and years later. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, I would love it if you consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel in the future to talk all things makeup. All right, let's go ahead and get into the first product. So I just got out of the shower and we are starting with the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. Some of these things I remember actively liking them. Some of them I use still today pretty regularly. And some of them I'm like, I don't really remember how I feel about. This one I think I remember liking, but it has admittedly been a hot minute since I used it. It doesn't have like a weird smell, which I like about this one. And it kind of just feels like a gel moisturizer. Like it's not too liquidy, watery, but it's definitely not like a lotion where it's like creamy. And I think this was one of the first kind of like makeup primer slash skincare items I got, because that 2001 I feel like was when that really picked up, when there was a lot more skincare and makeup. So this is like a serum and a primer, and it has honey, silk amino acids, sea buckthorn oil, and vitamin E that really are supposed to help make your skin both radiant and smooth. So it feels like a little tacky, not like e.l.f. gripping primer, Milk Hydro Grip sticky status, but like sticky enough that I feel like a foundation is going to stick to it well. So I think this one is still a favorite. I really like it. And I don't even know if the container I have is the same one. I may have honestly used it and repurchased it since then because I do like that one a lot. So I went ahead and put on a foundation, since not every step of my makeup is in that favorites video. And by the way, I'll go ahead and leave that video linked if you want a good laugh just to see me from over 3 years ago. I know, like, I feel like I've gotten more comfortable filming since then, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I looked better, and some of that's, I've put on some weight, but you know, it is what it is. So the next thing we're gonna try out here is bronzer. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Tantric. These are all, by the way, beyond that primer, I believe the same exact products, like not repurchases. So I've had these products for over 3 years. So I don't know, some of them like this one, that just means they last a really long time. Some of them it's like, okay, if I've had it 3 years, how much of a favorite is it? Am I really reaching for it like all the time? And this is actually perfect timing for me to bring out this bronzer because I did totally use up my Wet n Wild bronzer. I'll leave my recent makeup ranking video if you haven't seen it. I almost had it used up when I did that video and now it is completely gone. I didn't have a powder bronzer really out. I was kind of using cream, but I need to experiment because my wedding's coming up and I think I want to layer a cream and a powder together for longevity, just because my wedding ceremony is supposed to be outside and the reception, and it's going to be 89, you guys, 89 on that day. So I feel if I don't take precautionary measures like layering creams and powders and things, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last in that heat. And I want it to last for my photos and things for sure. So I'm just layering this up. I saw in my old video too, I talked about some of the brushes I use and I was like, I don't use any of those brushes anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was because they were like cheaper, more affordable brushes, which there's nothing wrong with that. I still use like Morphe and stuff, but like this is a rougher brush and they're just so much better quality in my opinion. But just goes to show how our tastes and things change over time. I was thinking this was looking a little warm when I first put it on, but now that I'm building it up and blending it out a bit, I do still really like how this looks. I also was like chiseled to the gods in that video, so for old time's sake, I'm going to take a little brush, this Laura Lee L28, and do a little nose contour. I feel like I used to do it like every single time I did my makeup, and I did really like how my nose looked in that video, I'm not gonna lie. But it just takes so much extra time and effort, honestly, that I don't always feel like doing, because it's not like a fun, creative part of makeup, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it makes it look better because you've got just like a little skinny nose then, but I don't know, like, it looked good on camera. I don't know how natural or good it looked in real life either. See, that's just so much more defined, and I don't know. I just liked how it looked in there, and with, especially with the highlighter combo I'm gonna do later. So this is a 10 out of 10. This is amazing. I think, has Marc Jacobs relaunched? I know they like closed for a while or rebranded or something, but have they relaunched yet? Let me know if you guys know in the comments. This is still my $16.99 TJ Maxx one that I got, not even from Marc Jacobs, but that looks really, really nice. It's like, I don't know if the formula is more satin and less matte than I remember, or if it's just that kind of like glowy primer I was using. So next up, we're going in with cream blush. And I'm going to use a flat brush. This is a new one. I haven't used it yet, from Laura Lee Los Angeles, the L11, but it's a flat brush like I used in that video. This is the Believe Beauty Cream Blush in shade Doll Face, and I do remember loving these. I don't know what really made me stop using these, if I'm being honest, but sometimes I don't necessarily dislike a product. I just kind of like go through phases or get bored. Oh, that's pigmented. Oh, let's put some of that on the other side too. Oh my lord, that's pigmented. Holy smokes. I'm used to my e.l.f. putty blush these days, and I really have to like get in there to get any on the brush, I feel like. That was not the case with this one. Oh my. I may have gone a bit too far. Let me see what kind of damage control I can do here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you basically can't see the bronzer I did anymore. I didn't say how pigmented this was in that video. Oh my gosh, I look like I have a sunburn now. Okay. I think I still like this product, but I did not know it was that pigmented. I did not remember that. I would use such the tiniest amount now compared to this crazy sunburn look I have going. Wow, okay, well, it's just gonna be what it is, and hopefully once I put on more makeup, it looks a little more tame. That brush was fabulous, though, I'll say that. Okay, I've talked about this, I feel like, recently, so you guys know it's still a favorite. The Benefit Gimme Brow Plus. Mine is in shade 3. This is absolutely not the same component as 3 years ago, because I think that was my little baby one that I got as a sample in Ipsy that got me hooked on it. This is a full size, and it's like my second or third full size at least. I love this brow product. It just grips onto the hairs so well, like each individual little hair, like, and you don't have to do like strokes. You just run it through your brows. Now, granted, I have brows to begin with. I'm not working with anything like wispy or non-existent. Mine are pretty thick and bushy as it is. But I still love how tiny and precise this little brush is. This is a fantastic product. So the next item is a single eyeshadow, which I'm going to use, but I do want some mattes to go with it for the look. So I'm just putting on eyeshadow primer right now, and I'm going to grab some different mattes off camera to kind of build with the look. And then I will be back to put on the single shadow and show you guys. Okay, we've got some mattes on now. I just went ahead and did something kind of pinky to tie into the blush to try to make it look like it tied in more instead of like a separate color that had gone crazy the way it did. And the single eyeshadow that we are using today is from Clionadh Cosmetics. It's called Enamel. Oh, I love this one so much. It's the one that started it all. And I'll just go ahead and show you my palette. Now, in the last 3 years, I've got all these square pans. I don't want to tip it because it's a little messy, I'm not going to lie. I've had some shrapnel, is that the right word? Some makeup shrapnel, some dust. It's kind of messy. And speaking of Clionadh, my favorite flat brush. Here we go. We got an Enamel. I'm just going to take a little bit on the brush here. There it is, everyone. It's such a pretty iridescent shade. This one is, I think, part of their original stained glass collection. Now they have so many more shades. They've expanded the collection so much in the past 3 years. And they have like more iridescent ones. They have more glittery ones. They have more jewel toned ones. I love the iridescent ones like this. I think that might be my personal favorite like section of the collection, if I'm being honest. This I can actually see too when I use it that it's like getting depleted, and I don't think I have any other iridescent purple like this in my collection. I am really interested to get and compare it to the new Diverune, the Dewdrops. Has anybody seen that? It looks so good. So I love an iridescent, especially a purple iridescent. I could gush. Still, 3 years later, love this. Now, one thing on this list is not a favorite anymore, and that is the KVD Trooper liner. And I guess I will say it's not even that the liner itself isn't a favorite or that like it's been replaced by another liquid eyeliner. It's just that I really truly don't use liquid eyeliners anymore like that in like a pen form. I pretty much just do shadow liner these days. It's a lot softer, and I'm not saying I'll never go back. That's just something I feel like with the different trends and styles that are current that has changed a bit. So I am just applying a random black shadow to my lash line now. If you want to know what I'm using for this or any other steps of my makeup that I didn't talk about in this video, I always list everything that I use in my looks in the description box, so you can see there what I'm using in case you're interested and like something that you see. So that one's not a favorite anymore. I would say of everything on this list, that's probably the one and only thing that I like wouldn't use anymore. Now, would I call them favorites? This brow product is absolutely still a favorite. I don't know if I would call the cream blush a favorite. I really, really do love the Nimya cream blush. I'm not gonna lie. That one I think is a little easier to work with. This is like almost overly pigmented. I know that's user error to complain about, but the primer too, I like it, but I don't know if I would call it a favorite. The eyeshadow, definitely a favorite for sure. The bronzer's good, but I don't even know if I'd call that one a favorite either. I think the Adept Gianna Face Palette Bronzer, I think that one I might like just the color and the formula a little bit better if I'm being honest. And then the only other thing that we have to talk about is the highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting on this mascara and a lip, and then we'll talk about and apply the highlighter. Okay, so the last thing is from Wet n Wild. I totally forgot about this. It is the I'm So Lit Loose Highlighter. I have the same brush I talked about in that video that I still use with highlighters. This is a loose highlighter, and it's been some time since I used a loose highlighter, but I can see how I got the glow in that video because this is still a little tacky. Like, this blush doesn't totally dry down, it doesn't seem like. So if you're still into that 2016, like really see it from outer space, it's reminding me of Teresa's Dead kind of highlighter, putting it over top of like a cream base like this or a cream blush, but not setting it with powder and putting your highlighter over that, yeah, that's really gonna emphasize it. And I know I was talking about like how I used to do it targeted and then diffuse it, so I'm gonna try to like build, I was gonna say I'm gonna try to build it up a little, but oh my goodness, that ooh, like the blush escalated quickly. My goodness. Now I do like the fact that, I don't know, it doesn't look like it has too much of a gray cast. I know some highlighters back in the day used to have that issue, and I'm gonna do just like I did in that video, with some on the tip of the nose and then some in the bridge of the nose. I still like this style. Tip from me to you, I'm 32 years old now. I was, you know, -4, 29. I'm almost 33, so it's almost 4 years. But anyway, I've started to get like a wrinkle right here on the bridge of my nose. So part of this highlighter is a nice little trick to cover up that wrinkle that's appearing. And I'm just doing what I described in that video too, where I'm literally just taking it from the cap. There is so much glow that I don't need to dip into what's in the actual container. Like this, this, no wonder I still have this 3.5 years later. Like, it's gonna last forever. I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I think the shade is a little icy compared to what I would go for now, but it could just be that it looks icy because it's paired with this more like cooler toned doll face, kind of baby doll color blush. Maybe with a different blush base it wouldn't look so like icy looking. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Do you remember any of these products? Do you have any of these products yourself? I would love to know. As far as I know, I think most of these might be available. I don't know about the Wet n Wild, but I think everything else you can still purchase at this point, which that makes me happy because I will say I feel like now in makeup we're in a day and age where it feels like everything is just limited edition, and it's like as soon as the hype has died down we have to move on to the next. Like, they can't just make a good product that people want to repurchase. It's like, oh, I'm bored of that, let's move on to the next. And that's a little, I feel, not how it used to be. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Is there anything you know was your favorite years ago that you are still a diehard for? I would love to hear it. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!